sideline by John Collette.
It was just a race to the sideline, and the Bucknell player dove. The official who was up at the midfield line making the call that was about 5 yards behind. I wish he came running down just a little bit closer to the play just to see it. It was a close run though. So Bucknell ball.
Bison trying to clear 1-0 Towson. 6:55 to go here in the first quarter of play. Moving down the left side for Bucknell is Nick Gansudis. Gansudis sends it back behind the goal to Brandow. Brandow, their leading goal scorer with 5 in the first 2 games. Work it out front to Gansudis again. Throws out near the midfield circle. Work it over on the left side. Moving into the middle of the field. Wine shot wide, knocked away by Wheeler. Bucknell is back and they'll keep it.
Keaton on very, very good defense. Nice slide. He got Wiskavich coming up very quickly off the crease on the slide, making that a weak shot going wide.
Buckmare throws behind the goal. Gets it to Danilishin. A bad pass going towards the sidelines and out of bounds, and an unforced error on Bucknell as Danilishin's pass was way wide of his intended receiver, and the Tigers will get it at midfield.
Yeah, this is it's just a nice start for Towson. But again, that I was just saying, watching the games against Princeton, Stevenson, the Bayhawks, the ball control. Not turning that ball over. A lot better clearing opportunities for us, and this is just something that is going to be our strength.
Harrington goes through a double team at midfield, bringing it down, gets his foot into the attack zone, pulls out as the Tigers will try to add to that 1-0 lead with 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Feed down the right side to Stratton, brings it behind the goal, sends it out front, intercepted by Bucknell's Mike Clenshaw. The long stick over midfield. Brings it down into the attack zone, and he'll turn pass to midfielder Van Valkenburg. Van Valkenburg down the left side, work it back behind the goal to Brandow. Brandow, a senior out of McDonough High School. And a couple of Maryland players scattered throughout this Bucknell roster.
Yeah, Brandow, I've gotten to meet him at Tony's camps in the summer. He's very, very nice kid, nice gentleman. He's just a good all-around lacrosse player. He even has twin little brothers that are, they wait till they get, up to the level of college.
Charlie Streep out front, makes a move to his right, throws it crossfield, wind up shot and a score for Bucknell as Ryan Klipstein with the goal to tie it up at 1 apiece with 4:56 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Bucknell, they took advantage of keeping Will Harrington out there on the defensive side. We want Will, to get off the field as quickly as possible to get our defense set in there. And they did expose him on that. He didn't have one of the lanes taken up. It was just an easy skip pass.
So 1-1 the score with 4:56 to go first quarter as Thomas and Clark face off, and Clark wins his first face-off for Bucknell this afternoon, so it's 2-1 in favor of Towson in face-offs as the Bison will work the ball around. Behind the goal, Danilishin gives it to Brandow. Brandow standing bottom right-hand corner, throws it out front as the Bison wait for substitutions to come on. They'll set up their offense. 4:23 to go first quarter, 1-1. Spiro Marikas, Greg LaCour with you from Johnny Unitas Stadium, opening day of the 2010 lacrosse season. Eisenreich flips it over his head, heading towards the left side and scooped up by Gansudis. Gansudis feeds over to Eisenreich, and down the right side they'll work it back behind the goal to Winter. Winter coming up the left. He turns, he shoots wide right, but it's grabbed behind by Brandow. Brandow feeds it right back over to Winter on the left. Throw it top of the box to Eisenreich. Eisenreich over to the right side to Gansudis. Gansudis feeds backwards. Wind up, shot, and a score by Billy Eisenreich as he got free about 10 yards from the crease and stuck it in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, Mezzanotte and Zook are talking to each other. They both did not slide to that open man. The Bisons took the ball down the right lane, forcing it strong right-hand side, and just turned around, and he had a trailing midi coming in from the restraining line. And we just didn't have that slide package ready with Mezzanotte and Zook. They're talking to each other right now to figure out what went wrong there.
So 2-1 Bucknell with 3:46 to go first quarter. As Clark and Thomas face off, and we've got a push that's going to go against Bucknell, and the Tigers will get it. Starting it off for Towson will be Kelvin Lally. Passes over to the left side to Harrington. Harrington steps top left-hand corner, throws down the left side to Matt Hughes, who has the Tigers' lone goal so far. Coming up the left side, he'll throw it top of the box back to Harrington. Harrington with a short stick on him, feeds to Hughes behind the goal. To Pesterik. Pesterik up the right side, they work it, and back out to the midfield circle to Harrington. Harrington comes down, feeds down the left side, feed in front, shot wide, and grabbed by Bucknell's John Scally, and Scally has it knocked away from behind by Stephen Norris. Ball still rolling loose, and Bucknell comes away with the ball. So the Bison will try to clear, as Alex Lyons will send it crossfield to the far side, and the Bison get it over midfield. 2-1 Bucknell with 2:40 to go first quarter.
Well, the one thing that we have to see a change in, and we are getting our shots down on the offensive end, but it's still, like last year, we've got to finish these shots. We've had a lot of good open shots. We've got to start finishing these things.
Many of the Tigers' shots today, Greg, have not been on cage.
And that's what's concerning me right now, is that they're not on that 6x6. They've got to get it in there. I really think they can take advantage of the goalie situation for Bucknell.
Chris Palmer throws it out near midfield to Charlie Streep. Streep, a sophomore out of New Canaan, Connecticut. He comes down, right side, gets double teamed. Now will throw behind the goal to Winter. Winter coming up the right side, turns, shoots, didn't shoot, had no angle, now does, hits the top, the right pipe, and the ball loose, and we've got a whistle and a timeout called by Bucknell. So we'll take a break. 1:48 to go, first quarter. The score, Bucknell 2, Towson 1. We'll come back after these words. You're listening to the Towson Sports Network on FM 89.7 WTMD Towson. Bison will have the ball, goal line extended from the near side, as they'll put it back into play. Feed up the left side to Streep. Streep throws it out near the midfield circle to Klipstein. Over on the left side to Palmer. Palmer works it behind the cage, as Bucknell just going around in a circle. Double teamed is Danilishin. Danilishin feeds out front, pass over on the left side to Streep. Streep moving in towards the middle of the field. He gets double teamed. Gets it to Klipstein. Klipstein has Matt Vetter on him. Feed back behind the goal to Brandow. Brandow coming up the left side. And a pass in the middle, and it's intercepted by Pete Mezzanotte. Mezzanotte will work it up. Gets through a couple of guys and loses the ball. Ball just fell out of his stick, and Brandow picks it up for Bucknell. Feed down the right side to Winter. Winter will pull up behind the goal. Looked like they may have had a fast break opportunity, but the Tigers recovered quickly. That ball just fell right out of Mezzanotte's stick.
There was no one on him. There was no one on his, you're right, it just dropped out of his stick.
Klipstein over on the right. Works at top right-hand corner again, Gansudis. Gansudis to Danilishin down the right side, as he'll set up in the bottom right-hand corner. 25 seconds to go, first quarter, 2-1 Bucknell. In Princeton, Hofstra leading the Princeton Tigers 10-9 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Austin Winter just running back behind as they try to set up in the final 8 seconds. He feeds in front, pass goes over everybody's head. Ball going to roll towards the sideline, and that's going to end the first quarter of play. So the Tigers take the early lead, 1-0, but Bucknell bounces back with 2 to take the lead. So after 15 minutes, it is Bucknell 2, Towson 1. We'll come back with the second quarter. You're listening to Towson University Athletics on FM 89.7 WTMD Towson.
And we've asked him, for a lot of his time, and he's always just said, absolutely, where do you need me? What do you need me to do? What a gentleman.
Loose ball push on Bucknell on the faceoff, so the Tigers will have it. as we start this second quarter. Towson trailing Bucknell 2-1. And now for the Tigers, Steve Norris has it knocked out of his stick, but he does get it back, loses it again as he's double-teamed along the far sideline. A whistle and another push on Bucknell, and the Tigers will keep it.
Boy, that's a good, that's advantage us because we had the 10-second count to get it back in. We were probably at the 6-second mark of it.
Will Harrington has it. Left side. Tigers move left to right on your radio dial here in the second quarter. Back out front. Pasteric will work it back behind the goal. Up the right side to Tim Stratton. Stratton and Hughes parked behind the crease. As Stratton now will throw up the left side, and the Tigers work it out to Pat Britton at the midfield circle. Britton comes down into the attack zone, right side, moving in, gets double teamed, throws back behind the goal. Feed out front, wide shot knocked away as Pasteric tried to get it past the goalkeeper, Kyle Feeney. Tigers were back. They'll keep the offense.